Hey everyone, Hydra Hut here with my co-host the Ram, and this is another classic comic review. I kind of had meant to get a couple different reviews in before doing another one of these, but I've been so busy reading these that I really haven't finished a lot of anything else that I want to talk about. I'm actually like a long ways ahead of this, but I wanted to talk about this one because I thought it was a great issue. This is The Devil in the Dark. This is number 34 from the... I'm getting mixed things on when the run was done. Like, when I looked it up, it said it was 88 to, like, 2003. But, I have all the way back to, like, issue 27? And that was from 1990. So, I don't know if there was... I don't know. Doesn't matter. But this is right after the Lazarus Project. So Wolverine is still in Marjapur, and this is kind of like a I guess you could call it a bumper issue. But the cool thing is back in the day when they did a bumper issue, it was a complete story. It wasn't nonsense. It very much fit the theme of the character and everything. It was... They don't do that anymore. Now they would just reboot the whole series, give it a new number one, and continue on their way. This is another Larry Hama writing. We got Sylvestrine Green and what's the other guy on colors? Glynis Oliver. It's weird how back in the day colors used to get didn't get as much recognition as the letterer. It's interesting. In this one though, we actually deal with a werewolf, which is cool. And they never really go over like where this werewolf came from, why it exists, or anything like that. I thought that was kind of neat. This one starts back with him. He's actually back in he's in Canada, in Buffalo Woods State Park in northern Alberta. Now, if I remember right, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but a guy on Twitter was telling me that this issue pissed him off when it first came out because he's from Alberta and Buffalo Woods State Park is not there. Or something along that line. The geography of this particular page was completely wrong, and that upset him. But I can understand that. I mean, if you care about Canada. Who the fuck cares about Canada? Anyway, this starts off with Wolverine bare ass naked hunting fish in the in the hills of Canada. A couple Mounties show up and start questioning him about this dude that this escaped convict, basically. Wolverine doesn't recognize him. He's not overly pleased to be getting bothered. But he ends up offering his assistant to these guys to help track this dude down because he's kidnapped some girl. It's a cute little redhead. He makes it very apparent what his plans for her are in the future. As Wolverine's helping him, he's basically just sending the dude out and telling him where to go. And then we get into a pretty cool little shootout between the cops and this dude, and he uses that girl as a human shield. It's pretty freaking hilarious. Some stuff happens. Basically, their truck gets wrecked, and then we start going into this like flashback scenario where we find out that this Mountie was actually in the same military platoon as Logan. And the only way he really... he recognized Logan's voice, right? But it wasn't until they wrecked and the shit got real that he really started flashing back hard to this this particular dude who sounded and looked like him and who was a massive beast when it came to fighting in the war. As they're going, he gets kind of pulled out of his reverie, and they gotta, get this girl, right? And then they make this, like... there's been talk of this monster in the area. Nobody really believes that this monster exists. Everybody just kind of thinks it's wolves and tall tales. And as Wolverine and the sheriff are going along, Wolverine's like, if that critter hunts by smell, like I figure staying downwind like I figure, it's staying downwind of us. The sheriff, it could be right on top of us and we wouldn't know it. And it's right on top of them and they don't even know it. And it's a badass looking werewolf. This is one of the reasons why I like this issue so much, is the werewolf is fucking drawn way cool, and we get to have a fight with Wolverine versus a werewolf, which is exactly the kind of fight I want to see Wolverine doing, because he's got the big ass claws. And it's fucking sweet. Also, they did a really nice job on her butt, like every time they show it. So thanks, Mark. My boy DMI appreciates that, and a lot of the rest of us do too. As Wolverine is fighting this beast, then it's really starting to click with the sheriff that he should know who this guy is. This guy being Wolverine. On the other hand, though, as Wolverine's fighting it, he's recalling a time in his past where when he was basically walking through the woods, he came across some beast that was caught in a trap. It turns out it was this werewolf, and he found it caught in a trap. And rather than kill it, he just removed the trap and drug it off. So the people that were hunting the beast ended up falling in the trap, thinking it had gotten away and dragged the trap, and they ended up tracking Wolverine instead. Now that Wolverine is back, God, he's naked so much in this comic. But now that he's back fighting this thing, the beast kind of recognizes him, recognizes that smell. And I was like, oh shit, this is that guy that saved me. So rather than continuing his fight with Wolverine or killing the sheriff who got fucked up, he suddenly disappears. And I mean, this is not like there's a new comic, nothing I can ruin about it. But he suddenly disappears and actually goes down and hunts this dude who kidnapped the redhead and just fucking eats him. It's fantastic. And that's cool because you get like a big plot, a subplot, multiple subplots. I mean, we find out that the sheriff's known Logan all along. Since he was a young man fighting in the war. He's now way older than Logan, which makes sense because Logan's super healing factor is going to keep him younger than a normal person. He's going to live a lot longer because aging is in fact the body deteriorating, so healing factor means you're going to live longer. Oh shit, check it out, an ad for Predator. Which one was it? The Predator returns in an all new series. Number one? Number one? The cover doesn't look familiar, but I think I might have read it. Oh, yeah, anyway. So it's cool because you get multiple subplots and main plots in this book. It's only 30 pages. It would take like a whole 6-issue trade to tell the same story nowadays. This also has a really interesting ending. So the sheriff, Wolverine never tells the guy his name, but the sheriff figures it out, especially after watching him fight and seeing the type of person he is. It finally clicks that crazy ass soldier he fought with was Logan, and this guy's probably Logan. So as Wolverine's returning with the fine ass redhead. He sees the sheriff in his final death throes. The guy calls out his name. Logan checks on him. He's dead. And then he's like, well, how did he know my name? Because he has no recollection of this dude. A lot of his past has been kind of obliterated at this point. And so he doesn't even realize that he's known this guy for years. And then it just ends. And we never see anything else about that. And doesn't bother me in the least. I thought that was really actually kind of cool. So again, if you guys aren't buying old comics, or if you haven't read a lot of these ones from the old 90s stuff, check them out. A lot of really good creators, busting ass, and doing the stuff that nobody really has time to do nowadays. So thanks for watching. Hail Hydra.